You weren't easy. Oh shit. I accidentally hit go live. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to. Cause I was in here and the button asked me something and I was like, "Oh, I don't wanna see this anymore." And then it hit. I hit it. Sorry. Do you want me to end it? Yeah, let's not do that. Sorry.
And my mic was muted, so they were only getting half the conversation. I can't hit the go live button. Like my controls are dead and my oh wait, hold on. I'm in a different menu.
I was so proud of myself. And then I go and do something real stupid.
I think that's go on. I'll mute us. And audio's on. The time has arrived. I think it had arrived like
We finally
18
decided to
minutes
start.
ago. 19 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, that was my fault. I started us before we were ready.
But were we ever going to be ready? That could have been, it could have just been
No,
another
never.
cancellation and, this whole revamp, redoing our show. No, it's the same.
It is the same. Well,
Different
it's the
name.
same parts that everybody. Yeah. Yep. I was gonna say it's the same parts that everyone loves. Just the
The chaos.
discombobulated. Yeah. That's how we should have changed it. The show of chaos. I think Wonder works though.
Actually, that isn't too. We could have a backup title and picture for these types of mornings. So then they know what they're getting
It'll just play every morning.
every morning. It just
Yep.
will be the show. Huh.
Yeah. That'll be our opening.
That's interesting. So we got to rebuild our viewership too. That's the uphill battle that we always will have to struggle with.
Yep.
'Cause I don't
But
think
that's
there's
okay.
anybody on this morning. Is anybody even listening? Yes, everybody. Everybody's listening.
Everyone's listening.
The world. So, good morning, Darcy.
Good morning, Jeffrey.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh,
Howdy, DB.
we have one person. That's so nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Somebody that waited 15 minutes for us to finally hop on.
Yeah, yeah. That was a long, slow wait. I wonder how much of the intro they got to hear before we turned off the sound. She's like, "Yep,
All of it. I'm just kidding.
all of it."
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, one nice thing was being able to check our sound before, you know.
Is that what we were doing?
Like,
The sound
yeah.
check.
Yep.
All right.
Sound check. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
So we got a new title, some new artwork,
We sure do.
but same old chaos.
Yep.
Cool. What are we going to talk about today?
Summer fun.
Summer
Some
fun?
someday fun day.
Someday fun day?
Yep.
Well, it sounded
Yep.
like you had a lot of summer plans. You had your whole summer planned out of kayaking adventures, and just hanging out on the
Yeah.
rivers, trying not to get killed by
Hopefully.
alligators.
Absolutely. Yep.
Do they attack
Yep.
kayakers?
Um, Not that I've been aware of, or, nobody
I've never
mentioned
heard
it.
of it,
So,
so I was just curious.
yeah. No. Yeah, that's when you asked if we were planning on getting in the water, or, that's one thing. I mean, I know we'll get wet being out there, but I am a little nervous about see see what it looks like. I mean, apparently it's real, like the water's really clear.
Oh,
Like
so you
you
have to
can see
see
all the
your
way to
death
the
coming.
bottom. So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No.
We're not using the clear kayaks either. They'll be, a solid
How
color
much extra is
this
the
time.
clear kayaks?
Well, you have to do a tour with the clear
Oh, they
kayaks,
don't just let
and
you go
it's
screw
like
them up.
200 bucks. Mm-mm. No. Yeah, but we are gonna do that regardless of, if we like kayaking or not. We are definitely gonna do it in the winter because that's when all the manatees are out. So we want to do the clear kayaks with the manatees. That seems worth it.
Sounds cool.
Hmm.
I've kayaked a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Did you like it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
Oh,
fine. I do find it enjoyable. I don't go often. I watch people go constantly. Them just float down the creek every day during the summer. There's somebody that
Oh,
goes down.
really?
Yep, every day, unless it's raining. Rain's the only deterrent. Temperature isn't really a deterrent. Once it, like after this weekend, there will be somebody floating past my house every day.
That's pretty cool.
Is it?
I
Would
like that.
would you like
Yeah,
neighbors
I
in your
think so.
backyard every day? You're like, yeah, they're just
Um,
going by.
yeah, I mean, I guess I guess if I like the idea that it's being used and then I could also use it, get out there and
Oh,
go kayaking. If that's something I enjoy. I don't know yet. I've never been. It'll be my first time.
yep. There's people that like it. There's
I've
people
been
that
in a
don't.
canoe.
Oh, so what did you think about
Yeah.
canoeing? You like that?
It was hard, but I was also a kid. I
Oh,
mean, everything's hard when you're a kid. You're like, "Oh, I don't want to." Like, I don't wanna walk to the end of the block. I'm so tired, you know? I was definitely a whiny kid. So, I mean, there's a strong possibility. I feel like I'll like it. I feel like I'm more likely to like it than not, but I'm also nervous that I'll find out that I'm super weak, a lot weaker than I thought. I wanted to do a tandem kayak, but
no.
I
Uh,
mean, yeah, but we're
so
gonna
how
do
much current
individual
is
ones.
on these places that you go to? And do you have to
I've
go
never
back
been.
upstream? What's the rules? Like, do you just get to float downstream and then they pick them up
Yeah.
downstream?
This one is, there and back. So,
You got to come back
yeah,
like on your
yeah.
own?
No, it's not like whitewater rafting or anything.
No, 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 no. It's just flat water, but you got to come back on your own.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah,
be when. What I would suggest would be go the opposite direction. Start up, go upstream, and then
yeah,
float
go up
down
and
for
then
the
come
second
back.
half. Yes. Uh,
I like that.
it's not.
That's a good
You'll be
idea.
fine. I mean, strength wise, yeah, you'll get tired, but if you, because a lot of the tours that they do around our area, it's just one way, so they'll pick you up wherever you end up, or you just leave the kayaks and you
Yeah,
leave, and then they'll pick them up, or you actually end at their place. Those types of things. I don't know. Most people have their own, so it's always like a downstream thing. So they just leave a car. Like our path would be you can get a little more north of me and you can start and come down a waterfall. Not literally, you got to walk around it, but and carry your kayak, down a path around it. And it's just a little waterfall, but
yeah.
that's pretty cool. But then you got to do more of a lake traverse. But then if you start just a hair south of me, they have a public access. And that's gonna be like way crazy today, and tomorrow it's supposed to be super nice. So it's gonna be they park all over the place. But you can
Yeah.
float, you park your car there, that's where you get in. But then you park your pickup car, so your truck or whatever, down at the airport, and then near the airport, it's like across the street from the airport. They have a big giant area where you can park, and then everybody gets out there, and then they just load back up. So if you were just doing a float downstream, I
Oh,
would
yeah.
say strength is irrelevant. You literally just float.
Yeah,
I mean, you're just guiding yourself off the walls, really. The sides of the walls, the sides of the creek. So, and doing some turns. You can paddle the whole time, but you can actually also go and just float. Link's mom, she likes to just float, where Link and I, we paddle more. So then our trip is probably an hour, hour and a half shorter than the just floaters. You don't see too many tubers.
mm,
You do see them where people just throw those plastic Walmart tubes and float down, but it's there's so many sticks. It's you're gonna you're gonna be walking or floating on your body by the end. So get something plasticky if you're gonna go down a creek.
yeah.
Floating those plastic, even though they advertise them and they may last if you're not going to hit anything, but do you want to be halfway on your trip and then have your floaty thing pop? I'd say no.
Yep.
So,
Nope. That sounds awful.
and kayaks nowadays are pretty cheap. You can go to like Dick's or any big sporting goods store. I don't know if Walmart's are that cheap, but because
Walmart had, yeah.
I was gonna
Well,
say I don't know
yeah,
if
I don't know. Walmart
there's
has them.
like kind of nice, and then there's like really not nice. So there's not even you don't even have to spend a lot. It's just kind of like how they're made. Like it's how easy they stay straight, and if they kind of drift. So that's what you're paying for with the more expensive ones. They're just
Mm,
they're actually they'll go more straight and they're probably faster and things like that. Just because their bodies are more sleek or whatever, but you can get them for like $100. I mean, you shouldn't have to spend over 150 for a kayak. For the cheap,
oh, really?
decent ones, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what I see
Maybe
around
now's
here.
not the time to be looking.
Let me see.
Yeah, they're a lot. Well, we were just out of curiosity looking the other day, and they were like 350
Oh, then you guys might
for
be
them.
getting decent ones,
Yeah.
like really decent ones. So I'll show you the cheap
Well,
ones, but you
it's
might have
also,
to get
I mean,
different
it's
ones for
Florida.
down
There's
there. Yeah.
everywhere around here. Yeah.
Let's see. What do we
Yeah.
got?
I mean, everywhere down here has places that rent. Like if you like all the beaches, uh, well, not all the beaches, but there's quite a few beaches, any
Wow, they've got more expensive.
campsites and stuff you can. Oh, yeah.
It's just funny because this is the one I have right here,
Yeah, that feels,
I think.
I
And they
can't
want
see where you're pointing.
I'll click on it. And maybe someday it'll come up. This one. This
Oh, that's
Pelican
nice.
Trailblazer. It's different now. Mine's older, obviously, so they've changed this a little bit. I like this a little better. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this kayak when I got it before the pandemic was $100, and now it's $200.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, wow, okay, they're not that cheap. Now I'm gonna have to lock mine up.
Not like
'Cause-
they used to be. Yeah, well, that's why we wanna try it out a few times. And, I don't know if I said it on the show, but I know you and I had talked about it. I mean, there's a place like 3 miles up the road from us um, that you can rent kayaks and, they do tours, and then where we're going is at, Three Sisters, which is also Crystal River.
Mhm.
And that's about, like, 15 or 20 minutes up the road. And where we can also rent kayaks and stuff. They also have the clear kayak tours. Um, but Rick's really been wanting to go up there and check it out because like all the pictures, the water you can see all the way to the bottom. It's like, turquoise and there's lots of trees and stuff. So we're excited. We want to go check it out. I am nervous that there's going to be a lot of spiders, to
Yeah,
be
there's
honest. We
spiders. Yeah, spiders are near the water because the
so,
bugs are near the water. So
yeah.
just don't go under
Yeah, we
trees.
went,
Don't go like under low hanging tree. If
yes,
you can
in the
touch
middle.
the branches, then you probably want to avoid that. Just because that's I mean the bugs
Yeah.
stay close to the water, so then the spiders are closer to the water. And yeah, if you just stay in the middle, you're fine. I mean, the spiders don't jump out after you. I'll guarantee. I mean, I've never heard of that. Like
Yeah,
a
but they're
spider
so
just.
big down here.
That's so funny. Well, at least you'd see it
We
coming.
Yeah, that's true. We went to Homosassa. There's a park not far from us, called Homosassa, and they have like you can walk to the park, from where you park, or you can get in to this little boat and it goes down the river and it swings around. So it probably takes longer to take the boat, but it's so pretty. And you get to see alligators and turtles. And one of the times there was like this huge spider that they pointed it out. It was so big. They're like, and then look at this huge spider. It was disgusting. I was like, we're way too close to that thing. So that's all I keep thinking about when we talk about going. I'm like, but the spiders. But I don't want that to ruin my good time. It
Yeah,
does change
spiders
how I
suck.
feel about paddle boarding. I'd have to do that in the
Mm,
Gulf, I think,
yeah,
with the
you're gonna
stingrays.
fall in for sure with that. Like as you're learning
Yeah.
that one, I can guarantee. Now the for kayaking, yeah, if you have like semi okay balance, you should be all right. I mean, I've most people kayak all right. And then there's a sit on top one and a sit in one. That's like a choice. And your legs kind of go in the hole like a traditional. That's the sit in one, and then the sit on top. It's just kind of you're on top. I'll say I prefer the sit
We're gonna
in
do
one.
that on top.
Or you're gonna do on top. Those are a little more work,
Yeah,
I find,
that's okay.
because the sit in ones you're kind of lower to the water, so it's easier to maneuver and kind of. But yeah,
Oh,
but to get
that
back
makes sense.
on and to not sink it, then the sit on top ones are unsinkable. I mean, they're we call it the bus because it's a chore to kind of maneuver and stuff. But I have one. I use it as a rescue vehicle um, at my grandma's now. It
Nice.
rescues the RC stuff from the channel, like when they die or get stuck or something, or other things. Moves logs sometimes. I don't know. But usually we take the jet ski out
Nice.
for that.
Excellent.
The jet ski is the log cleaner. Except for, from what I
There you
understand
go.
right now, the channel is full of weeds, and so I'm not gonna be messing with that for a little while until they get that cleaned up.
No, not taking the
Mm-mm.
boat out.
No, the jet ski is
Let
a
the
bigger
boat take
problem. The
get
boat's not
stuck
as
out
big
there.
of a problem. It's the
Oh no?
it's the jet ski because the jet ski sucks water in, and so then it'll suck up weeds and block the pump that shoots the water out the back. Weeds for a boat are annoying, and it's not the best, but it kind of can it just gets tangled up in the propeller. So once you get out of the channel, you just kind of reverse it, or if it's really bad, you just kind of go and get in the water and clean it off yourself by hand. But make sure the boat's off. That's
Uh,
part of our boat safety coming up.
yeah,
So definitely don't want
and
the
you're
boat
wearing
on.
your life jacket, hopefully.
Well, I don't know if you could because your propeller might be underneath the water, so you might have to go underwater. So
Mm.
hopefully you're a decent swimmer if you're the captain of the boat. I would recommend that you should be able to swim. It's not a requirement, but
Yeah, I hope so.
um, I would say that one and probably a little bit of life safety, water safety type training. Again, not a requirement, but highly recommended that somebody on the boat would know how to administer some sort of CPR and or like save somebody from the water. Um,
Yeah.
and I would
Yeah,
hope that it's the
not
captain,
CPR, but chest compressions.
not CPR. Maybe
No
not
CPR
CPR
when people
anymore.
drown. Yeah.
Yeah, shove the
Well,
water
no,
in. Yeah,
when
yeah, I
somebody
get you. I
drowned,
get you. Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb. I hear you. I hear it now. It's like, yeah, maybe not. Turn them on
yeah.
their side,
Well, no,
pat them on
it's
their
funny
back.
because
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I watched something and they were like, It's crazy how many people try and give people that have drowned CPR," and they're like, No, don't do
Well,
that."
you know me. It's gonna you're gonna have to like really convince me to put my face on somebody else's face. So,
Yeah.
um,
No, you're safe.
yes, if you're on my
But
boat, you're not getting CPR. Like, I'll look at somebody else that's riding around with me to do that. And I don't ask for
yeah.
it from other people. So if you don't want to do it to
Yep.
me, that's fine too. But
And like,
yeah,
"Sir," just yelling in your face, "Sorry."
um,
I can't I can't do that. And you're
but
like,
kayaking's much easier,
yeah.
especially if it's a sit on top one. You just flip it back over and crawl back up. You know, like a
Whoa.
beach whale,
A huge dragonfly just hit the window at my house.
getting you prepared.
That was funny. Yeah. For being out in nature.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We'll do a couple things and then take a break.
Okay, let's do it.
Well, let's go with maybe I forgot how to work everything.
That feels fair.
Um, all right. This is a horrible restart. Why'd you hit the button? See, now I can blame you.
Hit the start button. Hey, we had to start one way or another.
Oh my gosh. Why
So,
is my yeah.
do you want to just keep talking about kayaks?
Keep talking about kayaks with our blank screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's here. I see it, and you see me just click it. But for whatever reason, that's you. No, we don't need to do
Oh,
you.
there's the other Darcy.
Slideshows. Main slideshow. Yeah, now the images are coming. Everything should have worked on that. That was like solid. That what used to be pretty solid. D drive, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's all right. Hmm. Well, maybe we won't have pictures. We'll just have to actually thumb through them for real. But then I don't know if that will work. Hmm.
Ah, old school.
Yeah. I'll go to our folder. Give me a second. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, you're here. Why are you being silly? And there's 12 of them, and it can count. This is very upsetting. Why do you not want to go? Let's re-select it. Let's pick our folder. And you're gonna play nice. There we go.
You did it.
It
Good
was
job.
it was actually dumb of why it was being. I mean, I just had to pick the same folder. Uh,
Yeah.
that was very frustrating. There we go. Yay!
That's such a cute picture. Good pick.
That's me when I was a kid. A little
No,
baby
it's
bear.
not.
Oh, you feel like fibbing. Yeah, that
I
one
saw a
actually.
rainbow the other day.
I was gonna say this one probably dates before my time. I don't know. I guess you can do whatever filters nowadays, right? Where'd you see a rainbow at? In the sky
What?
or on the ground like this? You see a
In the sky.
sky
It
rainbow?
was a big one. Yep. Yep. I was out taking the dog's potty and I saw it and I was like, oh, it's beautiful. Just like that. And then I tried to get Rick to come out and see it and he wasn't having it. He's like, I was like, there's a huge rainbow. And he's like, there is? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. It was awesome. I'm like, dang it. I'll just enjoy it by myself.
Cool.
Yeah. The end. That's the end of that story.
Your story of a common
Yep.
sight. Yeah, yep. Or do you guys not get
Yep.
rainbows? Does Florida not get rainbows very often?
We do. I just I don't know, I
Figure
just
it's
hadn't
pretty
seen them in
common
a
down
long
in
time.
Florida. That's why Rick's like, yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know.
was
I
it an
feel like I
extra good
haven't seen
one?
one in a long
Was
time.
it a really defined
It
one where
was.
you
It
got to
was
see
really
like all
bright.
8
Yeah.
colors? I think it's about 8 colors that you
Yep.
get to see or something. At
I
least
don't know.
6.
I didn't count. But I mean, I saw purple and
Yeah.
usually you don't see
No,
purple.
you're
So
right. And then
it
the
was, yeah, it was really
red
pretty.
is a hard one also. The edges,
Mhm.
it's kind of the edges, right? But it's really when you
Yeah.
start
Yeah,
getting
it
those
gets a little fuzzy.
defined bands where you can really see it. And then when you see the leprechaun sliding down it, that's when it gets really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that good of a
Mm.
rainbow.
Well,
But besides that, it was good. And it looked like it was going into a cloud up in the sky. It was nice.
oh, so you
We
couldn't
had a
even
really
get the
bad
pot of
lightning storm
gold.
the other day, so yep. So, no.
So when's
It
the
was in
first
the
day of
woods
summer?
somewhere, I'm sure. Um,
Does anybody
I
know?
don't know. When is it?
We'll see.
Uh,
It's the
Do we
summer
have a poll?
solstice. So that's one thing. That's the first day. Oh, June 21st. We have a correct answer. 2021,
Really?
somewhere in there. Yep.
That's pretty late.
Yeah. You would think it's now, but it's not. Happens in June every year. The summer solstice has the most daylight and the shortest nighttime. The name solstice
Yep.
means stilled, standing, or stopped sun. When it is summer in the northern hemisphere, it is winter in the southern hemisphere. The sun appears higher in the sky in the summertime. Is
I
that?
wonder
Oh, go ahead.
I wonder if I mean, how many people do you think just live in summer all the time? They're like in the southern hemisphere for their summer and then come up to the northern hemisphere just to keep it going. Like, I don't know. Snowbirds.
Always in summer.
Or I guess you could just live around the Ecuador or the equator.
The Ecuador.
Ecuador. Oh, that counts
You
too.
could live in
The
Ecuador.
Ecuador. Wow. I'm doing good today. Yeah. But maybe they just live near the equator and they're just like, no, I don't have to
Aren't you
move.
summer
That
all the
feels like
time?
a better option. No, this winter we got really cold. We got down into the 20s.
Mm. So, what would qualify as the max low temperature that you could have?
For my own personal safety,
No, no, no. It would qualify that you're in
say like
summer all the time.
65.
No, just say that you're in summer all the
Oh,
time.
I don't know.
I mean, unless
Um,
it can
I
get
don't know,
cold
like
abnormally,
70s.
but 70s. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I'd
if it
say
gets below
70s is the
70, then you're
coldest.
not in summer all the time. Like daytime high, obviously,
Yeah.
for an
I don't know.
extended
Yeah.
period for
I
like a
mean,
month.
maybe like you can go swimming in the ocean all year long.
Mm,
That would qualify as summer for me.
gotcha. Yeah, that's an easy one. And then some people are like, I do it in New England, up in Boston.
Yeah.
Sweat all winter.
Yeah. Like,
No.
if you can get hypothermia for swimming in the winter, then that doesn't qualify as summer.
Did you know that many animals spend the summer raising their babies?
Aw,
And
it makes
summertime
sense.
is the
That's
only
when there's
time.
lots of food, right?
Well, yeah, it's probably it probably isn't the best to raise babies in the dead of winter when you're just trying to survive.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, here's some snow. Enjoy.
Yeah,
A pine cone.
a pine cone. Jesus.
Yeah.
Roasted pine cones.
Remember that one time when we had a pine cone? That was amazing.
That was a
A
great dinner.
feast.
That was a feast.
Yeah.
Summertime is the only time that you can see lightning bugs glowing. The rest of the year, they hide underground. Or fireflies, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Depending on where
Yeah, I
you.
guess. I saw lightning bugs for the first time recently, and there wasn't a lot. Rick says that he's seen a lot more, and I was like, "Why are you trying to step on my my happiness over here?" No,
One
it was very
special
cool
type
though.
of lightning bug glows blue and green. It's called a ghost
What?
firefly. I've never seen that, I don't think.
Creepy. No, me neither.
Aren't you going to tell
Definitely
us all
not.
about ghosts next week?
Yes,
Did you ever
if
get
we
your
can get
video
my
to work?
videos to work.
Mhm.
Nope.
Well, you could have
Did you
mailed
ever
you
get my
could have
videos
mailed
to
the
work?
thumb drive to me by now.
I totally could have. Dang it. I could have
Mm,
driven it to you by now. Yeah,
well,
no,
that would have been a lot more work,
yeah, we'll
but
have to look into it. Yeah, I saw ghosts. We'll talk all about it. Ghost fireflies. Just
mm,
kidding. I didn't see
crickets
any ghost fireflies.
make different chirping noises depending on temperature. They chirp faster when it's hotter.
Whoa. Does that mean that they're trying to cool off? And they're just complaining more?
Mm, maybe they're complaining more.
They're like, I can't take it, it's too hot.
Baby sea
Aw.
turtles hatch in June and July, and they usually wait until nighttime to leave because they don't want to get murdered. Or I don't think we're supposed to say
Oh
that.
yeah.
Actually, I think everybody says
Un
different words.
unalived.
Unalived or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Eesh. We'll put a trigger warning on.
A trigger warning? Is that what it is?
Mhm.
That you get triggered
Yeah.
hearing that word. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
it's interesting. But yeah, they get taken out by nature probably during the daytime. They're like,
Yeah.
we gotta travel at night. And so then
Yeah.
interesting.
I've seen those videos where they're like the beach is full of seagulls and other creatures. Yikes. But yeah, it's nature.
Seagulls. The opportunistic birds. They're like, yeah, this is awesome. Dragonflies do headstands to turn their body away from the sun to stay cool. So they tan their bottoms.
That's hilarious.
Some animals, like elephants, hippos, and pigs, use mud to stay cool. They dig into the mud to cover their bodies. Dogs, foxes, and coyotes pant. Uh, and humans go into the air conditioning. Bees bring water droplets into their hive to keep it cool. The bees fan the water with their wings to cool the hive with the evaporating water. So they have their own air
That's so
conditioning.
smart. It's like a swamp cooler
Mm-hmm.
like they
Yep.
have in humid areas.
Yep.
Genius.
Let's see what else we got. There's a world record for the longest time barbecuing. It lasted 80 hours.
Whoa.
Oh, she sees no pictures. Why is that?
I don't know.
Do you see pictures?
I s- yeah, the turtles.
Yeah, we don't have tons for
S-
each of these. So if you're complaining about our lack of excessive pictures, then you're probably accurate. So no, this is let me show you what this article looks like. Yeah, no pictures.
Mm.
Oh, unfortunately, there was lack of pictures with this. They're like, our super fans are like, you used to have tons of pictures.
I
Yeah,
know. Sorry, DB. Next
sorry.
week. We'll do better.
Is that what we always say? Next week we'll do better.
Yep, that's our
Uh,
tagline.
each summer, movies companies release blockbuster movies
What?
that can cost a lot of
Oh
money
yeah,
to
that
make.
makes sense.
Summer camp starts up in the summer. You have Independence Day. You have
Wait, did you
June.
just say summer camp starts in the summer?
It just
Mind
said summer
blown.
camp is a program. They had this as a fact. Many camps have special
Oh
focus like
yeah.
outdoor skills, art, music, and science. But yes, everybody knows that summer camp starts during the winter, and this was just a fact that kind of
Yeah,
blew your
as it
mind.
should be. Yeah.
Some
Yeah. As a
unusual
bear, that's your
camps
favorite time of year.
include spy camp, circus camp, space camp, live action role play camp, and comedy camp.
I almost said that's hilarious. And then I was like, oh. But but then there was silence, so I felt like I had to say it anyway.
Did you know
There we
tug
go.
of war used to be a summer Olympics event?
That's hilarious.
The
Is that
great
why we had to do it in school?
because it was an actual probably that's probably where it
Yeah.
started.
We're trying to get more look for naturals.
Natural tug of wars. People. Yeah, that was. I didn't know anybody that moved on to the tug of war nationals or championships or ever continued that.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
Let's see. The phrase "dog days of summer" is when constellation Sirius, that looks like a dog, appears in the sky. These are usually the hottest weeks of the summer.
Did you know that outside of a dog, a book is man's best friend? Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read.
That was a little gross.
That was a Groucho Marx joke.
Hmm.
I guess it doesn't work without a cigar.
Guess not.
There.
Do you have any summer safety tips?
Um, wear sunscreen and your tether if you're on a boat, Captain.
Here's a good list. Slow down when things heat up. Drink lots of fluids. Use sunscreen. Know what plant means trouble if you're going to go hiking through the woods. Dangerous plants such as poison
Oh
oak,
yeah, that's a good one.
ivy, and sumac. Use repellents wisely because sometimes they have serious chemicals in them. And be sure to shower after spending time outside to wash them off. Take bites seriously. Never underestimate the power of an insect bite or a sting. Exercise
yeah.
caution with dangerous substances like lighter fluid, gasoline, and fireworks.
Especially if you're using them all together.
Yep. All together. Yeah, that sounds not wise. Remember pool
Yeah, no.
precautions. Don't leave the little ones unattended near the pool or with access to the pool. Those are always sad, sad stories, and they happen every summer to different families.
Yep. Well, yeah. Well, even if there's a lot of people, it's um, we we had a bunch of people over. It wasn't at our house. We were at a party, and there was a bunch of us in the pool, and there was a bunch of people around the pool, and the little one like clambered right out, right next to me, and I didn't even see her. Luckily, the person that I was talking to did and grabbed her. But it was just like it was so quick, and you hear that it's super quick until you see it, and you're like, oh, um, it is. It's very, very quick.
Yep,
So
it
yeah,
is.
pool safety.
Even people that remember safety, it's exactly that. Just make sure they have a life jacket
Hmm.
on. That helps. if
Yeah,
if they're just
yeah, and
if
that
the
makes a
pool's
lot of
open
sense.
and there's a lot of people, just throw a life jacket on them. That's it. Just be like,
Yeah,
that's the rules.
yeah.
And kids, have to do it. And because Link fell in the lake one time when we weren't paying attention because he was playing by the lake and he had a life jacket on. And still, it's scary and they're sinking and, freaking out and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Not sinking, but makes them easier to
Yeah, but it
grab
gives you
too.
it gives you a minute.
Gives you,
Yeah.
yeah, it gives you a
Yeah.
second to see that they are above water and their face isn't. I mean, because technically you could, I think they're meant to not have your face float, but I've seen things where you can get out of it a little bit and then maybe spun or something.
Mhm.
And sometimes if it's not rated for the weight of the person, then it's only going to do the best it can. But you're right; it gives you seconds instead of no time. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I,
especially at a lake. I mean, this little one just went down like a rock. I mean, she was still on the steps, but because she was so little, she just, the bottom step, she was under the water and was like, I can't, and that's a pool. You're just like, oh, well,
yep.
what happens when you can't see? Now you're swimming around trying to find, yeah, that's scary.
Practice good food hygiene.
Pool precaution.
Always wash hands and counters
You
before
mean don't leave the
preparing
pit?
food. And do not leave refrigerated foods out at temperatures above 40 degrees. And do not
Besides
let
potato salad that can stay outside all day.
and do not let food sit out at room temperature for more than 2 hours. Think about that. You know, most cookouts, that food's sitting out there for hours when you go back for a second. I fell in a
Yep.
pool once. That's funny.
Aw,
I never fell in
I
any
did too.
pools. I'm a fish. I jumped in. That was testing my parents' skills, making sure if they were paying attention. It was planned.
Making sure that they had healthy hearts.
Yep. And if
That
you
sounds
have jello
horrifying.
shots or
Yeah.
alcohol sitting out, make sure you keep them out of reach of animals and children. It's not funny. And it's not cool. For the animals, that was. I don't think anybody really thinks it's cool. Well, I'm sure some people do, but I would say most people probably don't think it's cool for kids to get alcohol. But I've
Yeah.
known people that think it's funny for animals to get into it. I would
Isn't that
caution
sad?
against that
Yeah, I don't like that. Yep.
because they didn't volunteer. They didn't know. They didn't be like, "Hey, I want to drink." Now, after they get a taste for it, you could ask them, and I bet they'll want to. I don't know if it'll be the Jello shots or but yeah, I've seen them acquire a taste. So
Yeah, our neighbor used to pour out a little bit of beer always in front of Oliver, and the first he lapped it right up, and then after that, he loved her. He
hmm.
would like go up to her all the time, and if he saw that she had a beer, he'd be jumping all over her and stuff. And she'd pour a little out for him. I was like, okay, that's enough. He's too young.
Oh,
I need a quick break. If now's good
now,
for you.
now, just as we enter
Yes.
the most exciting part of our show, the sunset cruises.
Ooh, sunset cruises.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
It can be a
Oh,
quick
look at
one.
that.
Yes. Perfect. All right, 2 minutes. Be right back.
Hmm.
Hey.
Oh, there she is. Everybody's just been waiting on
Just
you.
intent.
We were
Thank
we were
you.
sitting here talking about how you're always late for your 2 minute break.
Always.
Always.
Well, Rick and I've been trying to drink less coffee. Um, but Rick's been drinking coffee at home. He used to run up to Dunkin' Donuts up the street and get coffee, but he's been drinking coffee at home. Well, he slept in today, so I'm just topped off my last cup, and that means that I've drank an entire cup of coffee. So, um, I needed a quick break. A lot of liquid. Alrighty then.
So I was gonna skip this one.
Okay.
10 of the best summer boating activities. I didn't think they were really
They didn't seem that
exciting, but one was
best.
interesting. One caught my attention. Go golfing right on your boat. I was like, wait, that sounds horrible. Why would you promote
That's
hitting
really
golf balls
awful.
into the water? And
Yeah.
then it says, did you know you can buy
Throwing your trash right into the.
biodegradable golf balls made especially for boaters? That's right. When your ball inevitably plops into the water, never to be seen again, it turns into fish food. So grab your golf clubs and tee up right from your deck. So then they got me thinking, okay. So, okay, they've solved the littering problem that you just created by having golfing on your boat. But these boats are pretty expensive. I don't know if I want somebody swinging a golf club around on my boat. Like, all they got to do is just hit it. And yeah, that's a lot of money that you just damaged. No, no.
Yeah.
It sounds like a horrible idea. Why can't you just use it for normal stuff, like water stuff? Or boat camping or just
You're
cruising
like, I'm
around.
not on this boat and I'm so bored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bring a
that's
video game
weird.
then. I don't know, get on your phone, but
I'm like,
golfing, I don't know. If you're that obsessed about it, maybe you should just went to the golf course instead of the lake. Like, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. Like, that doesn't make sense. Now, something that sounds interestingly fun if you're a good golfer is where you'd have different boats and you could hit it from boat to boat. But again, you're just damaging your expensive boat. So, I mean,
That
it
doesn't
just
sound like fun at all. That's
no,
hilarious.
it would be like,
It's
can
like,
you hit it? You know, it's like a target shot type of thing. But um yeah, but no, that is still
that's
not, yeah.
hilarious. Yeah.
So that was it from boating activities. Everybody knows what you can do. But do we know any interesting facts about boats? A boat is a generic term for a small watercraft propelled by paddles or sail or motor, open, partially decked, and usually less than 45 feet. A vessel larger than this is commonly classed as a ship. So if you get something bigger than 45 feet, you get to
Oh.
say, I'm going out on my ship instead of my boat.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mm,
Hmm.
settlement in Australia over 40,000 years ago. Um, findings dated 130,000 years ago. And Flores dated 900,000 years ago, suggests that boats have been used since prehistoric times. The earliest boats are thought to have been dugouts, and the oldest boats found by archaeological excavation date from around 7 to 10,000 years ago. The
That's
oldest
awesome.
recovered boat in the world is the Pesse canoe, found in the Netherlands. It is a dugout made from a hollowed tree trunk of a Pinus sylvestris. I don't know, it must be some tree that they have up there, and was constructed somewhere between 8200 and 7600 BC. The canoe is exhibited in the Drents Museum in Essen, Netherlands. Other very old dugout boats have also been recovered. So they got rafts. The Egyptians were some of the first to use larger seagoing vessels and made trades with the coast within the coast of the Mediterranean. 3000 BC, Scandinavians were also building innovative boats. Many indigenous people in the Americas built bark canoes. Oh, here you go. Kayaks were originally developed by the Inuit. I forget how to pronounce
Inuit?
it. Inuit. The Yupik
I
and
don't
the
know how to
Aleut.
say it.
They used boats to hunt on inland lakes, rivers, and coastal waters of the Arctic Ocean. And then, wow, finally we have the Vikings at 1000 AD that had huge boats that could hold 60 people. That would suck.
Wow.
You used to only get
That's a lot of
invaded by
people.
like, yeah, your invasion was like 2 or 3 because that's all the canoe or the kayak could handle, and then all of a sudden you're getting invaded by like 60 people. That's why the Vikings like
Yeah.
terrorized towns. That was a
Yeah.
huge advantage. They're like, yeah, everybody pile on, and I'll be like, I don't know if I want to get on that boat.
Yeah, and that's just one boat. I mean, how many boats would go on these excursions?
But how many times did they
crazy.
sink the boats, and you have to swim back to shore till they found the right amount of people to fit on the boat? I'd like to know over the course of time how many ships have just like been sunk.
So many.
Yeah, I mean it's probably
Yeah, so
many. It's like, yeah, that adventure. I'll stick to the creek. if my boat
Yeah.
sinks, I'll just walk.
Yeah, right? You're like, I'm still in the creek, but I'm just walking. Yeah.
I'll stay here and suffer under whatever regime, whoever's in charge. I'm land based. Sorry, I would not have been a ocean settler. I can guarantee. I mean, like, I don't care. Like, that just wouldn't have made sense to me. I already have a fear of the ocean, so it's just fun.
I love the ocean, but I do get motion sick, so I don't think I would have done well. But the big cruise ships, when I went on mine, I totally fell in love with the ocean. It's crazy though how you can be in the middle of nowhere and still see trash floating by. That part's depressing.
Those are some interesting facts about boats. Let's see. Do we have any other pictures for boaties?
Yeah.
Ooh, look at
There
all
was
those.
monsters in the ocean.
Oh yeah, that was my final one, I think. Oh, and then we're on to our next fun summer activity, camping.
Yeah, no thanks.
Did you know that in 2021 there were 93 million active camping households in the United States alone, from which 9.1 million
When?
were camping for the first time? 2021. So 93 million people camp.
Ah.
The majority of campers live in urban areas, so going camping for them is also escaping the busy city life. Camping is for everyone, regardless of income. I would disagree. It costs
Yeah,
more and more
especially now.
nowadays.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, it's not. It used to be cheap.
They're like, we're gonna charge you an arm and leg to, eat with ashes in your food and have to pee outside. We went camping a lot when I was a kid.
Wi-Fi for
I don't
sure.
know. Just like waking up. Yeah, right. Waking up damp is just a big no for me.
For me, camping, I was pricing what camping would cost for me, and it's about $30,000 to get a camper.
That's hilarious.
With a
You're like,
bathroom and
I
a
need
bed and
a
an air conditioner, basically a mobile house. I mean, I've seen them.
Yep.
You can get them as cheap. I would say the smallest, cheapest is somewhere around like 15 to 18, but it's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Rick's
do a
aunt and
tent.
uncle have. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, that's silly. Rick's
It's
aunt and
silly.
uncle have a big one, like with the master bedroom and the pop outs and stuff.
They're
And
nice.
it's nice.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
camping.
we went with them. Yeah, Oh my gosh, it's so nice. We've only went once, with them, but they were camping just up the street from us. Like I said, we live in the middle of nowhere. And so they were camping not far from us. So we went up there and we hung out with them. So we got to enjoy the fire and, sitting at the picnic table and hanging out, but we didn't have to use the public restrooms because they had one and, they had the water, hookups and everything. So it was nice. And then we got to come home and sleep in our own bed. We're like, you guys, whenever you come up, just let us know. We'll come hang out with you and like get the best parts of camping.
Yeah, chat was
But we're
saying
out.
that that's not camping. And then Craig brings up
Hmm.
a good point. Spiders do like coming in your tents.
Yeah. Oh, that's. Mm-mm. Yeah, we talked about camping when we first got together, Rick and I, and we both decided that the only way we would go is if we got like those, like a cot to sleep on. But then at that point, you're just like, well, there's the spiders are still gonna get in, and it was like, we decided not to ever go. We're like, or we can just go somewhere
The
nice,
cot.
stay in a hotel on the beach.
The spiders don't respect
And
the elevation of the cot. You know, they can climb
yeah,
pretty
they totally
easily.
don't care.
They'll
Well,
be
and
like,
that's
"Oh,
also
what's up
before we
here?"
knew that there were scorpions down here. So now even more, it's like, well, no thanks.
Scorpions.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Yeah, that's not
they're
cool either.
we've had two in the house now, and then that big one that Rick saw, he said it was huge, um, and it moved really fast, and then he got stung when he was weed eating. So we're like, now we don't want to hang out in the woods.
Yeah, I avoid the woods. I'm not a woods person. I'm going to the woods today. I'm going to our powwow. But
Oh, fun.
yeah, it's fun. That's cool. Um, did you know it wasn't until the 1950s that camping became the most popular family pastime activity in Europe and North America? That is actually an interesting and dumb fact at the same time because it's
Yeah, that is
interesting.
really interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting that that's a point in time when camping became popular. But wasn't before that just surviving in the wilderness? Wasn't that camping?
Or
Like,
just
I think there would have been a time period, right, from like the late 1800s to about the 1950s when urbanization really kind of popped up, right? And you had more people living in cities
yeah.
and being more comfortable and houses being more comfortable. So then you got away from just like survival of like day to
Well,
day
not
camping.
necessarily, because the 20s, you had the depression and stuff. Maybe it's like
But do you think
when
people
the
were
kids
living in
from
the
the
woods in
depression
the
era.
20? When do you think we really like I think of settlers and the people that settled the United States and really just the world as people moved across, they weren't really so much in towns. I mean, yeah, there were towns, but a lot of people lived in the wilderness. And so wouldn't that be like camping? And then as people got like running water and plumbing and the infrastructure that goes along with it, then that starts taking away from camping. So then it's like back by the 1950s that it reverses and it's like, oh, let's go do this for fun instead of what we have to do.
Mhm.
That's the way
Yeah.
I was seeing. Do you think it's something to that effect? That's when it became a thing, like coined the term, and you're actually going and enjoying it, or do you think it's more of it was always there for the city people? Do you think like city people
Mm,
back before the 1700s would go camping? And I'm talking
I
not just like
don't
one
know.
or two. I'm not saying like someone. I was saying like a lot. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this is a thing. You going camping this weekend? Yeah, I'm going camping. Instead of I want to get back to my roots and go explore the woods or something. Those types of people, yeah, they're always going to
I
go
d
out.
yeah, I don't know.
Because I
I
think,
doubt it. I mean, it seems more
because yeah, I was
like a
gonna
middle
say,
class
yeah, like
activity.
leaving the safety of the city from like it, was that like a safety issue? They would go on fishing trips and hunting. Yeah, that would be
Oh,
camping.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
doing some other activity. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when we were kids, when we go camping, we went camping like every weekend. It was ridiculous. But we always went fishing too. We didn't eat any of that. We always released them back. But yeah. Hmm.
Another
Yeah, that makes
interesting
sense.
fact.
Because yeah, they would do like big hunting trips and stuff, right?
Yep.
Like they'd take a month,
Yep.
like the rich people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's exactly right. They would do, and that would be just be camping. We'll call that camping because I mean,
Thanks,
yeah, they're
Grace.
doing an activity,
Well,
but
I mean, yeah,
it's good enough. They're out in the wilderness. They had to prepare. They had to take tents. I mean, they're not coming back. They're not staying.
yeah.
They might
Well,
stay in a
and
hut
yeah,
or
it would
something,
probably
but
be like a richer people, and then the middle class kind of came up and they had some extra money, and so they're like, hey, we want to do it too.
we can we can sleep on the ground with our extra money.
Yeah, to get the kids out.
Yeah, but
We can yell at them in private
yeah,
instead of pretending like everything's okay in the in our perfect little neighborhood. There's
around
a street, a couple blocks up from us, and there's 3 houses, and every time we walk they're all the same, and they're, pastel colors, and it totally reminds me of, like, The
Stepford
Truman Show
Wives.
or
Yeah.
yeah. Well, no, it's, like, more like The Truman Show or, uh, Edward Scissorhands or something like that. Like,
Mm.
because they're like single level houses and they're pastels and there's lots of big yards, big and they're manicured and stuff. But we're still in the woods. Like on either side of them, it's just woods.
Well,
So,
that's
but
how
it's
us
just yeah,
Northerners
there's just
picture you
one little thing.
Floridians with your pastel houses, anyways.
Yeah.
You might find it odd, but we think your whole state has that.
Yeah. It's not true. Our house is gray. A
I
green
yeah, I
gray.
know. It's interesting though. Like when you're around like some of the beach towns, it seems like that's a lot of the like when you're in the vacation
Yeah.
spots, it
I
seems
know.
like the
It's so
houses
cute.
that
I love it.
surround that. You got your palm trees and you
Yep.
got your pastel houses. A lot of peach, right?
Yep.
I think if I pick the color like a
Yeah. And
pinkish
teal
peach.
and
Yep, yep.
yeah.
It's just kind of funny
Yellow.
because yeah, when I think of a place that has that, yeah, it's Florida. That's the first place I think of.
Yeah.
Now the manicured
Yeah,
lawns
our last house
and
was
that's
yellow.
also
It's
it's
cute.
interesting like that
Yeah.
because your streets, the way your houses sit and everything. Yeah, but it's different than what you would see in the suburban movies because you have palm trees. Typically, that would not have been the case. It was bushes and very
Yeah.
minimal trees, and what I'm picturing of what you're describing. There wasn't like big trees, or there was
Yeah.
a big tree. Like a big oak tree, like because there was always like the big tree in a front yard or something. But it
Mhm.
was never really heavily wooded like realistic homes. I think a lot of stuff now has gone back to where they like having heavy foliage, things like that. Crocodile
Yeah.
Dundee.
Yeah, it's, yeah, we don't have any yeah, our area is probably more like Crocodile Dundee because it's all pine trees, or pretty much all pine trees, and then, like, some, um, trees with actual leaves, and then, and that's where we get all the scorpions, and then obviously, like, ferns and stuff. So it's a little more like, and then we have dirt roads and stuff. So it's what you're describing is not what my area looks like at all. Even near the Gulf and stuff, it's very. I mean the houses, yes, but there's around here there's like hardly any palm trees. So
What? Then you don't live in Florida.
yeah, well,
It's not possible. You must live in
yeah,
some
we
other
have
state.
like
Nope, nope.
people. Yeah, people have planted like. There's at the end of our street. Cause I did lie.
The
At the end of our
planted.
street, our neighbors did plant a palm tree in their
They're
yard.
like, we're
At
gonna
our
have
last
palm
house, we had a
trees.
palm tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was such a pain in the butt though,
Oh
because
yeah,
it
that's what
was
I've heard.
huge.
And they shed. And there's
They're
a lot
yeah,
of.
and then you can't take them out. Yeah, yeah, they take a lot of upkeep, but yeah, they're all.
Yeah, I
And
don't think they're
then,
that cool, personally. I was like, I'd rather have
I mean,
regular
yeah, when
trees.
you're yeah, 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 but near the ocean and stuff, which is on the other side, because I'm on the Gulf side. The other side, you see it a lot more, and then at like the big beach towns and stuff down here, you'll have more. Less,
Mhm.
But where we are, we're like an hour north of Tampa, and this area, it's not. It's really rural, so it's native trees um, and the houses.
Yep, they fall over and crush people. It's like the #1 killer in Florida is palm trees.
It is not.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were
I
giving
don't
out
think.
false facts today.
Yeah. Today, every day.
97% of
Just
campers
like
will
some
bring some kind of technology on their trip.
like GPS.
Hmm, I guess so. The most popular country for camping. What does everybody think it is?
Um, Canada.
There we go. Canada.
Was I right? I was
Yeah,
totally guessing.
yeah. It's
I
right
don't
here
even
on
know
the
what number
screen when
we're.
you look at my screen. You can tell the audience that you were just guessing, but
I'm
you
not
know
look.
you read it.
I was totally guessing.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at the
Now
same
we
thing
have a new
everybody
vote.
else
How
is.
many people
Me and you.
believe that she didn't read what was right on my screen that she has access to? That I highlighted.
I c- I do have access to it, but I'm not watching it. I like watching us,
Uh-huh.
like our little animes talking. It's also how I make sure that my eyes aren't completely closed.
Yeah, I think
See,
that's about it. To sum things up,
those were some fun facts.
there you have it. Some impressive, wild, and interesting facts about camping. Pretty sure you found some of them quite unbelievable.
Absolutely unbelievable. And Craig, we don't deal with hurricanes every week, just like once a month in the summertime, into winter.
I gotta fix our outro too. Oh, I guess that list needs to get
We're
taken
done?
care of. I think that's it.
Oh,
9:30.
yeah, it went quick.
Yep. That's what happens when you start
That was fun.
super late.
15 minutes late. Yeah, next week we'll do better.
Well,
Yeah,
wasn't that what we promised for
thanks.
this week? So I would keep your promises.
What?
You know, maybe just let's say next time we'll just show up. Well, we can promise that we'll show up.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely be here next week
So we'll go with
at
that.
some point.
Now, will it be better
Yeah.
or will we improve? Who knows?
Hey, I think we get better every time.
I don't
Just a
think
little
this
bit.
was a step up. I think we went down a few steps, a few rungs.
Well, this was just the test run, right?
Oh, test show. We should have put the number as 0.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. We don't have a number.
We did on the.
It's just the
on
show
intro
wonders.
Screen. Look,
Oh,
#1.
gotcha. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I think everyone's still wondering what the show is about. So I think we nailed it.
Always the comedian. All right.
Yeah. Well, I got to do something.
Bye. Have a great weekend.
Everybody be safe. You too.
Stay safe around the
Bye.
water.